Good night, teacher. My name is Jose Jorge González Montalvo. I'm a student of civil engineering. Today, in this video, I will talk about seismic design of concrete structures containing liquid and comment. The main comment of the article shows us the reports, guides, the standards, and the comments of ACI for the planning, design, and inspection of the construction. Of course, this comment is aimed at people trained to evaluate and understand the importance of its own context. Since the application of it carries a great responsibility. The comment clarifies that the Institute will not be responsible for the losses or damage that derive from them. Any construction professional who wants the elements of this article to be part of the contractual document must reformulate in a mandatory language so that the architect or engineer incorporates them. The introduction. From the moment it began with the task of creating a codependent and ACI 31A, the committee decided to expand and complement Chapter 21 of the same, seeking the offer completed producers of the seismic analysis and in general for all types of environmental concrete structures that have liquids. It should be remembered that the structures are unique, therefore their design is not adequately covered by the main codex and standards. The subcommittee was guided by two fundamental objectives. First, produce a set of procedures that allow a complete seismic analysis, in addition to the design of a structure containing liquid. 2. Establish the scope of these new procedures in line with the general scope of ACI 350. Considering that the logic of the design is outside the scope of ACI 31A Chapter 21, it was decided to keep this practice the same in ACI 350. Therefore, the basic scope, format, and mandatory language of ACI 31A remained with only enough revisions to adapt the chapter to environmental engineering structures. This approach offers at least two advantages. 1. Allow AC 1330 to maintain ACI 31H practice of limiting its seismic design provisions only to the strange site, and 2. Facilitates obtain of the seismic provision to keep up with the frequent changes and improvements in the file of seismic hazard analysis and assessment. The seismic force levels and R factors included in the standards provide results and resistance levels, such as those including for seismic design in the 23 International Building Code. When they compared this provision with other documents that define seismic forces at allowed street levels, seismic forces in the standards must be reduced by applicable factors to derive comparable force at allowed street levels. The user must consider the following general design methods used in these standards. 1. Instead of assuming a rear tank for which the acceleration is equal to the acceleration of the ground in all places, this standard assumes the amplification of the response due to the natural frequency of the tank. 2. This standard includes the response modification factor. 3. Instead of combining the impulsive and convective mode, but algebraic addition. These standards combine this modus by adding the square root of the squares. 4. These standards include the fx vertical acceleration, and 5. This standard includes an effective mass coefficient applicable to the mass of the words. Thank you so much.